So it turns out that I offered to do this last year, but never really got around to it. I'll be excluding the Joker because that's something that kind of deserves its own episode. And quite a bit of research. So here's the deal. In character origins, I'll be looking into not only the history of a character that I take from movies, television, literature, etc., but I will be looking at the conception of said character, why they exist, and what they stand for. Now I'll be looking into the history and the creation of possibly one of the greatest supervillains in the history of cartoons and comic books. This character is the Joker. The character's origins are a mystery. Even he has said that sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes another. If I'm going to have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice. Many people have speculated and tossed out their theories of what this character's background was. However, the most accepted origin story comes from the 1988 graphic novel, The Killing Joke. In this story, the unnamed man that would one day become the Joker was an engineer who quit his job to become a stand-up comedian. This did not work, however, because he was not, what are the kids calling it these days? Funny! In order to support his wife and unborn child, the failed comedian agrees to guide two criminals through the chemical plant that he previously worked at so that they could rob the place blind. During the planning, the police had the misfortune of informing this man that his wife had died in a household accident. With nothing to lose, he goes ahead with the plan. During this time, the criminals give the failed comedian a special mask to become the Red Hood. This was so that if the criminals were ever pinched, they could just pass the comedian off as their head honcho. Elsewhere, Batman is alerted to the break-in, and when he confronts the comedian jumps into a chemical vat to escape the Caped Crusader. This leads to the Red Hood emerging as a man with bleached skin, green hair, a permanent smile, and bright red lips. The combination of his disfigurement and the loss of his wife and child drove this man mad. Thus, the Joker was born. The character was created in 1940 by Jerry Robinson, Bill Finger, and Bob Kane. He was created to be the polar opposite of his arch-nemesis, Batman. Whereas Batman is emotionless, calculating, and grim, the Joker is lively, unpredictable, and cheerful. His physical appearance is based on Conrad Veidt's portrayal of Gwynplaine, I think that's how you pronounce it, in The Man Who Laughs, a film based on the novel of the same name by Victor Hugo. Originally designed as a ruthless murderer, he was tweaked a little bit to become more of a comedic prankster character following the regulations of the Comics Code of Ethics. Luckily, he was returned to his darker, more homicidal incarnation. This character possesses no superhuman powers, except for an above-average intellect proven when he shows proficiency in chemistry and mechanics, as well as his awareness of the fact that he is, indeed, a fictional character. His villainous motives are not entirely known. Some would say that he's just an agent of chaos. Some would say he's a man rooting for anarchy, though we already have that in a character called Anarchy. And some would say that he's just a crazy man who wants to destroy the world on a whim. Personally, I would take that route. If I were some sort of psychiatrist, I would diagnose this individual with antisocial personality disorder. This disorder is commonly known for the sufferer's distaste for and disliking of authority figures. They also suffer from manic episodes and have habits of using multiple names. These are things that the Joker is well known for. Now, for those of you who are curious and haven't really read any of the big Joker material, some of his greatest moments are the paralyzing of Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, in The Killing Joke, his murder of Jason Todd, aka the second Robin, and the second Red Hood.
You know, I used to wear an outfit a lot like that. Mine was more flashy maitre d' than motorcycle fetish. You kids today... I'm sorry, could you hold on? I was just in the middle of setting fire to your gang.
And cutting off his own face in his subsequent death in the New 52 storyline, The Death of the Family. His first media portrayal was from Cesar Romero in the 1966 live-action Batman TV show. He was later portrayed by Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, in the animated TV series in the 1990s, as well as the Arkham video games. He was later played by, in one of my favorite portrayals, Kevin Michael Richardson in the 2008 The Batman series. In the movies, he is portrayed by Jack Nicholson in the 1989 films, the late Heath Ledger in the 2008 Dark Knight movie. He is soon to be portrayed by Jared Leto in the 2016 Suicide Squad movie. Now, before I wrap this all up in a nice little bow, does the Joker have anything to say for himself?
Another voice in my head? Well, the more the merrier!